Hey everybody, my name is David with the Omega Collective, and we have a video. Today we're going to be discussing effective networking for real estate investors. So one of the real big thing that's important is that when you guys start networking, you want to make sure your network is obviously good people. I've heard different people say, your net worth equals your network, all that good stuff. But I think the quality of your network's really, really important. And whether you're just getting started in real estate, you don't know exactly what you want to do, whether you're flipping, wholesaling, buying some cash flow properties, trying to build up a portfolio, um, at any aspect of where you are in your real estate, career or real estate business and venture, what you're getting at, the one thing you have to do is network and know different people. So one of the things we're going to talk about is, effective networking. And there's a few different things that you have to understand, different people that you want to know in the business, but you want to bring value to these individuals, but you want to make sure that you're getting something out of it. Don't just pour out and don't receive. You want to make sure that people are actually working. Networking is super important because it's how business gets done. A lot of my deals are word of mouth. I do a lot of business with different people I know just because they know who I am and they know I'm in the business and they're in the business, and some different things to understand. And when you're doing and start networking, is you want to make sure that you're building rapport. Learn about the other person, talk to these people and understand. Don't just be like, hey, my name's David, I'm an investor, what can you do for me? Hey, I'm David, I'm an investor, what can you do with me? Learn about the other person. Let them do some talking. Don't just be overpowering and taking over the conversation, and show a genuine interest in what they're doing. And if it's real estate related, you should have a genuine interest. The idea is to create a good positive impression on everyone you're working with. Make good connections. Make sure you are tapping. If you have an iPhone, make sure you're tapping your contacts, getting their contact information, talking to different professionals like investors, agents. If you're talking to contractors, all the different people you're going to talk to, you want to make sure they know who you are and then build those connections. If you talk to a lender, hey, what kind of lending do you do? How can I help how can I help you guys grow? And how can you help me grow? Is there lending programs that you guys have that are going to help me do a flip? Or if I know some people that need lending, can I send them to you? Like, do you offer a finder's fee? There's lots of different things that you can do along those lines. The idea is you want to make sure that you're offering value. Help others succeed by making valuable introductions, providing assistance. What you want to do is create opportunities for the people you want to network with. So when an opportunity comes in your need of help, or you need an opportunity or they need an opportunity, it's back and forth. Like, man, that guy David, he was awesome and sent to those guys that needed a loan for a hard money lender. Let's talk to him about this guy that's stuck on this flip that doesn't know what he's doing. Maybe David can wholesale that property. Create those kind of connections so people can utilize you, and then you can utilize their services. One of the big things that you have to do in any business to be successful is to follow up. You want to consistently follow up with different people without actually saying follow up. I hate when people tell me, hey, David, I was calling to follow up with you. How's everything going? That's not maintaining a relationship. That means a check on their checklist and they're just checking to see if anything is available there. Maintaining relationships regularly, checking in and staying on top of what they're doing is a good way to capitalize on different possibilities of what these guys are doing. This is important because what happens is a lot of times, people follow up and like, hey, what can I do? Do you have any deals for me? Do you have anything along those lines? You have to make sure you remember what's going on. One example always brings to me is when I was younger, I was watching a movie. It's called The Devil Wears Prada, and the main Meryl Streep is like the devil or the girl that's in charge of the Vogue magazine, and they're at a gala and they're walking around, and her assistants are like, "Oh, that's the prime minister from France. He's here with his mistress. His ex-wife's at home." Or this is, that's the top producer in Silk, and they're doing really really well. So when the Meryl Streep, which is the chief editor of the magazine, goes up to like, "Oh, hey, Ambassador, how you doing?" Or, "Hey, Silk guy, how's everything going?" And it creates that rapport that she might not necessarily remember everything, but when she talks to them, like, "Dang, I'm a memory in her, and she's such an awesome person," which builds a rapport. So when she needs something, those people are going. You want to do that. When you talk to an investor, you talk to anybody, a contractor, a lender, it's like, hey, man, I talked to my contractor. I was like, hey, what happened to your big red truck? That truck is really, really nice. They're like, oh, yeah, you remember that? Yeah, I had to sell it. Or, when you talk to your lender, like, how's everything going? I know you were telling me about a new program y'all were going to do for cash flow properties. When you put those little tidbits in there, it makes them more comfortable with you, which gives you opportunity. So that's something that's really important to pay attention to. Building rapport is so important. Ask open-ended questions. Let them do the talking. People love to talk. And when you listen, actually listen and show interest. One of my biggest shortfalls is somebody will start telling me a story and I'll be like, kind of get all over the place. It's a terrible quality to have. It really, really is. You want to make sure that you're showing them interest and, maintain eye contact with them. When you talk to them, don't be on your phone. Like, have a conversation, give them your genuine attention so they know that they gives them some credibility, makes them feel important. But, understand that having good body language and giving them your full attention is really, really important. When you're introducing yourself for someone you meet for the first time, make sure you talk to them, show them the different things you're doing. It's important. So, I have a slide here. It's like, ask open-ended questions. Let them do the talking. Once you've asked a question, let the other person do the majority of the talking and actively listen. This is really, really important. It keeps the conversation flowing. Generally, people enjoy talking about themselves. It's unfortunate, but it's a great tool to understand that people love to talk about themselves. Show that interest. And again, if it's real estate related and they're talking about real estate, you should already be interested in it. Make sure when you talk about yourself, introduce yourself, but don't go too far. It's like, oh man, I don't want to hear about this guy all day. But building the relationship, letting them do the talking really, really helps. And then offer the help. Say, what are you guys working on in real estate? Or where are you at? Or what can you guys do? Look for ways to assist the other people you're connecting with. And that's when you start offering them value, when you reach out to them or if you need anything, it will not only strengthens your relationship, but then they feel like, man, this guy was a big help to me. I want to make sure I help him. So that's something that's really, really, really important to look at. And it just all goes in like being a good networker and going through those different things. But some tips, like when you start introducing yourself to a new person and you want to introduce your business or what you guys are getting ready to do, here's some tips. Learn about the other person. Listen attentively, be open-minded, ask questions, ask about their background, their interest, and what are they there for? Why are you at this meetup? What are you looking to get? Provide a 2 or 3 minute overview. They're going to respond. Well, what are you here for? What are you doing? Explain your business, explain exactly what you're doing and what you're looking for. You're looking for deals, you're looking to secure different financing. I need help with assessing properties, or I'm looking for a good property manager. Let them know what you're there for. Highlight your value. So like, man, well, we really need someone that can help us analyze deals. It's like, you know what, my ARVs are always spot on. Maybe that's something I can help you with. Emphasize what value you bring to the table, and that help. They feel like that's you. They feel like that's utilizing them, and it really puts you above and beyond. The other things, offering immediate assistance. Say, do you have any deals you're working on now? They're like, yeah, I have one deal, but I just can't get it sold. I was like, man, what's the address? Let me take a look at it. I have a friend that she lives in Washington. She has a multi-million-dollar single-family home. She knocked it out of the park. Beautiful property. It's a beautiful property. I did some research. Like, her numbers are right. I was making sure her ARV was right, making sure all the different numbers are right, and just checking out the property. She's doing she did a bang-up job, but amazing work, amazing craftsmanship on this property. She's just having little issues because it's a real expensive property, and interest rates, they're coming down a little bit, which is in turn giving her more, she's getting more action on the property. So hopefully it sells for her. But, I was like, hey, let me see. I wanted to give value. I was like, let me look and see if I can see anything that's wrong with the property. Ask follow-up questions. That's a real big one. It's like, okay, well, you're looking for a lender. Do you have any deals? Are you looking for different things along those lines? Whenever someone comes up to me and says, I'm looking for a lender, the first thing I tell them is like, do you have a deal? Do you have a deal lined up? If you don't have a deal lined up, guys, why are you looking for a lender? Most investors are looking based on the deal. Okay. And last but not least is making sure you maintain the relationship. Add them on Facebook, put a post, say, hey, how's everything going? I know what you're working on. Create value in yourself to helping these people out. And it doesn't take much time just to check in on somebody, but that helps maintain the relationship. And then when they're like, well, how's it going? It's like, man, I'm having trouble getting rid of this property. Like, you know what? I have a guy that's looking for a property. Maybe y'all can JV on that deal. That's the big thing about networking, is making sure that you're getting value out of people, but you're also offering value. It's give and take. You're just not an ATM machine. Someone's typing in the pin and making massive withdrawals. You're getting something and they're getting something. So I think that that's something that's really, really important. Connecting with the right people. If you're going to get into real estate investing, whether you're going to flip or wholesale, you want to make sure that you start building really a book. I always say, in the old days they had Rolodexes. Make sure you have everybody that's doing the business. Maybe you're just wholesaling. You don't necessarily need a flip. You don't need a flip lender or hard money lender, but maybe you wholesale a property and you need to help them. You can be a one-stop shop. Hey, if you buy this wholesale for me, I have a lender lined up for you. I have some contractors to give you bids. I can tell you where you need to get permits and kind of walk them through the steps. So you want to make sure that you're building that up. So connecting with the right people is important. Beginner investors, they're my favorite. Connecting with new investors that don't have bad habits is a great way to start building your network, and it's a good way to find deals to be able to wholesale to them. It's like, look, you guys need deals. That's what I look for. One of my main businesses is wholesaling and finding properties. It's a really, really good way to build your business by constantly looking for new investors that are looking to get in the game, and then making sure you're giving them a good deal. Just because they're new, don't think, oh, I can sell this dummy any property I find. Make sure it's a good property, so you lather, rinse, and repeat. If you sell someone a good deal and they make money, 100% of the time they will buy another deal from you. Advanced investors / wholesalers. Building relationship with experienced investors and wholesalers is a good way for you to move your properties quickly. And it's a good way for, if you get stuck on a property that you can't sell, another investor or another wholesaler can help you sell it, and you both make money. So always network with good investors and pay attention to what they're doing or where they're looking at. And network, where you guys found your deals, where the low days on market. Most people don't mind sharing that information because everyone's in the business to make money together. There's a few people that want to gather information, keep it all for themselves. They usually don't last very long. The people that are sharing information, doing business together, and building that kind of stuff there, those are the ones that are successful. Next on my list is mortgage brokers. It's good for you to have a couple different brokers. So if you come across somebody, I bought a wholesale deal, like, well, our credit's really good. We have a little bit of money saved. We're ready to buy a new house. We just don't know the steps. It's like, well, I have a realtor I can help you with. And I even know a mortgage broker that can get you pre-approved to see if you're ready to buy a house. So I can send that to them. And guys, it works so much because I have a mortgage broker that's reached out to me and says, hey, I have a couple that have an extra property they need to sell for a down payment. Could you close on it quickly? And they send me deals, and I help them, because if somebody needs a broker, I can recommend, hey, use 123 Lending. They've helped me a lot. Next is real estate agents. You don't necessarily like real estate agents if you're focusing on just wholesaling properties, but I've gotten wholesale deals from realtors. Establishing connections with good agents is a great way to help you find properties, list properties, or even sell your flips. So it's important to have some realtors in your back pocket. I have one. I actually have 4 or 5 realtors I really like, but I have 2 realtors that. One is my sister. She's actually a newer realtor. She's been doing a little over a year, but she's very hungry. She's on top of it. I have another realtor that's, one of my best friend's wife, and she's on top of it. She takes care of business. She's all on the business, and she makes really, really good decisions, and she can really help me get things done if I need to double check comps or anything like that. She's like, hey, I'm at the store, but give me an hour and I'll send you those comps if I'm not sure on an ARV. So you need that to make sure, double check your work and have a good part of your team. Next is foreclosure attorneys, probate, eviction, and divorce attorneys. So just attorneys in general. Developing a relationship with legal professionals is really important because, for 2 reasons. One, you might get in the situation where you need to stop a foreclosure. You need help with probate. You need help with an eviction. You need help with a divorce. Hopefully you don't need help with a divorce, but maybe somebody does need help with a divorce. one of the biggest things you want to do is make sure that you build these relationships, because lots of times divorce attorneys are like, hey, I have this couple getting a divorce. They want a quick sell. They hate each other to death. And guys, that's motivation. They hate each other. They're getting a divorce. I can offer them whatever I want. And a lot of times they'll accept it because they're highly emotional. And it's everyone's like, oh, you're taking advantage of people. But if I don't get the property, somebody else will. So you can use these different attorneys to bring leads and deals to you. But also, if you come across someone in that situation, you can say, hey, I have this attorney that you can talk to. He can help you in this situation. Next is contractors. Contractors are super important because you need to understand how much it costs to repair a property. I get tired of looking at properties where they send me a repair budget. It's like 20,000 for this property. The property's 60,000, the repairs are 10,000, and the house doesn't have a roof. It burned down. I had a property that this past year I was trying to get. I offered the guy $80,000. He's like, that's half of what I want. And I was like, okay, your house burned down. He's like, it's good bones. I was like, okay, well, I would never, no investor will pay that because it's going to cost over 100,000 to fix, and the numbers don't work. For the next 3 months, I sent him an offer. He finally reached out to me. He's like, hey, you know what? I accept your offer. I was like, great. I'll be at the property tomorrow to check it, see what's changed. It's rained a few times. What's going on in this property? Well, I go out to the property and it's gone. There's just a slab. He waited too long. The city of San Antonio told him, you have to take action and get this resolved. And they went out there and demoed the property. Now he has a paid off property with no property on there. I was like, I can offer you land value, which is about $40,000. City of San Antonio put a $30,000 lien because they charged him for the demolition. So he's going to walk away with maybe $10,000 on this deal when he could have walked away with 80 because he didn't take action. So taking action is important. That's where the city officials come into play. Understand these tear down lists. Understand, how fast they move and what it takes for them to get things done. Because, in all honesty, it can shoot you in the foot if they tell you they're going to demo a property. They're going to demo it, and the city's not going to do it for free. They'll put a lien on the property. Pay attention to those properties. One of the best lead sources I get, guys, is code violations. It's a great way to identify properties that aren't being taken care of, because the cities identify them for you. And there could be some motivation in there for you to get a good deal. Now, some people just don't have their house taken fixed up or in good working order, but it is something that you need to check out. Eviction court. I put eviction marshals. I don't know why I put that for my next one. But if you go to eviction court, it's a good way if you're dealing with a landlord, homeowner, or someone that owns a rental, and they have professional renters that are playing the game and not paying rent. Hand some cards out at eviction court. When people are walking in and out, say, hey, I buy problem properties. If they're pissed off enough, it's a good opportunity for you to acquire a property. So eviction court's really, really good. Not eviction marshals. Family, friends, neighborhoods, community groups, and places of worship. Now, I have that in my notes, places of worship. I don't like to do business with anybody from church. I don't know, it's taboo for me, I guess. But, the overall thing is let people know what you're doing. If someone from church came up to me and said, hey, we're losing our house in a foreclosure, can you help us? Yes, I would help them. Family, friends, neighbors, anyone else, you should let everybody know what you're doing in the business so you can, take advantage and make money and help people in their situations. But you also have to do it with taste and not be like, oh, well, you're in this. Make sure you're doing things right. And last on my list here I have is bankers. Build connection with bankers that provide listing options, listing opportunities, especially if they have REOs. There was a credit union here a couple years ago. I want to say it was 2013 or 2014, where they had a huge spike in foreclosures. And the credit union was having a realtor reach out to different people. It's like, hey, are y'all interested? We have these properties that, we're having to get ready to move. Or is anyone interested in purchasing them? Which I thought was really, really cool. So that's something that you want to be able to take advantage of and understand, hey, there's opportunities in that. Okay. One thing you want to do is go into these meetups or start networking with people, guys, is make sure you understand the different professions and what these people are doing. And if you don't, ask them. Say, you know what, I'm new to this. What exactly do you do? when you're talking to title companies, you're talking to escrow agents, maybe you're talking to a title attorney, different things like that. Ask them, how can I benefit your business, and what does your business do for what I'm trying to do? And explain to them. Set specific goals when you go to these networking groups. How many people do you want to network with? I want to find a wholesaler. I want to find an attorney. I really want to find a lender. Identify these events, identify the different networking events in your area, and go to the ones that are going to actually help you. Don't just go because you want to party and hang out with people. Network with events and network with different people that are like-minded in the same business space, because it'll provide value, and then you can offer value. And that's really what networking is about, is providing value and offering value. You want to make sure that you're building genuine relationships. It's the number one key to effective networking. When you show genuine interest in what other people are doing and how they're building their business, 100%, it really creates long-term opportunities for you. So that's something that you want to make sure that you're doing so you can be successful. And that's one of the big things I like to talk about when you're looking into start networking and talking to different people. And here's some key strategies. Plan your networking, identify these different events, know your audience. What are these people are going to need? What are we looking at? If you're going to a Propelio event, which a Propelio is someone that we're really close with. I use Propelio for my driving for dollars. I use it for analyzing deals. I use it for my CRM, kind of. And I have lots of information there. And I've built a decent relationship with Propelio. But you understand the needs. If you're going to an event that they're sponsoring, they want people to sign up for Propelio. So how do you utilize that to help you where it helps them, and how can they help you? Providing value. Build a relationship with the people at these events. What do you do? Let's get lunch, or, show interest in what they're doing. And it's like, how can our businesses help each other? Helping people succeed, they'll in turn help you succeed. And then making sure you're building a networking team. Make sure you're following up. Make sure that these people are understanding what you're doing. And it really 100% of the time will build good opportunities and help you. And like I have thousands of phone numbers in my phone from people that I still talk to, people that I don't talk to, and just see, if you want, different people to be able to network and work with you, you want to really focus on those different things. That's what brings up the Omega Collective. So the Omega Collective is my membership site. It's new. We're still building it, but I'm building a membership site that actually lets people network, build off each other, and then follow up and learn different opportunities and different strategies from me and my team, and really have the opportunity to do really, really good things. So if it's something interesting, you can go to omegacollective.com, check out the membership site. I do have a really good deal still on our annual sales, so you can use the code BigStacks24, and that's going to give you half off our annual plans for the premium. The pro, you get $200 off, and it doesn't do nothing for the base plan because it's pretty inexpensive in itself. But that's going to complete my video for tonight, guys. I'm really excited. I'm going to upload this on a couple different social media avenues, and catch us on our next video. We're going to start working on producing 2 to 3 videos every week and getting this opportunity, this information out there, so people that are interested in real estate investing can actually learn, and they can really start taking action. So please like, follow, and subscribe. We're going to be putting fresh real estate content out there, new things that are happening, paying attention to the opportunities that are coming with the changing administration, and being more of a pro-business administration that's going to help, I believe, everybody in the economy, from people that are working to people that have businesses, and really being able to do really good things. And I think it's a really good opportunity to join something like the Omega Collective, so you have the ability to take action and have some support, so you can get actionable information and actually be able to get things done. With that being said, everyone have a wonderful day, and thank you for joining.